James in the UK thinks that abortion is wrong on secular grounds. And I have one question to start this off, James, and it's going to impact the entirety of this conversation. Do you think abortion should be illegal?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I can elaborate a little bit.
I guess it feels a little like a dodge, but I can appreciate that somebody might not know. But if you agreed with me that you didn't know or weren't sure about what it should be, wouldn't you also agree that by default, we should allow someone the individual autonomy to not have their body used against their will until we have come up with a compelling reason to override that autonomy?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think there is a compelling reason.
Okay. So what is abortion?
Abortion is killing a developing human embryo or fetus or zygote.
No, abortion is the termination of a pregnancy, specifically the non-viable, a pregnancy not carried to term. The fact that it results in the termination of the life of a fetus is a fact of biology. Abortion isn't the right to kill. It is the right to terminate a pregnancy. If it changes, if our physical abilities change with regard to maintaining a fetus or embryo afterwards, well, then we're in a different category. But I'll stop now, and you can tell us why you think it's wrong. Although I will tell you in advance, I do not care. I do not care what someone's opinion about the morality of abortion is. I only care about whether or not they feel it should be legally permissible or illegal and what the penalties should be. But go ahead.
Okay. Well, in that case, I might need to sort of backtrack a little bit and say why and explain why I didn't know, because about the legality question, because basically, kind of when you're asking whether something should be legal or not, that's kind of a downstream consideration about from whether you think something's wrong or not. Because
not with regard to morality. But we don't merely legislate morality. There are things that are immoral that aren't illegal and won't be illegal, and there are things that are legal which we would consider immoral. So morality and legality are not identical; they overlap.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
okay.
I mean, basically, what it comes down to is that even though I think that abortion is wrong, kind of I can imagine that it's very plausible that making abortion illegal could result in even greater wrongs occurring. So that's
I want to know, just out of curiosity, why you think it's wrong.
Okay, sure. Basically, because I think that killing innocent humans is wrong.
Okay. So you're fine with innocent humans killing women and people with wombs?
No.
And you're fine with allowing someone to use someone else's body without their consent?
No.
Well, that's what a fetus does for the entire gestation period, is to use someone else's body, and either that person consents and carries it to term, or that person does not consent. And if the person does not consent, and you are not okay with a fetus using someone else's body without their consent, you by definition must be in favor of abortion.
Well, no, because there's a hierarchy of priorities here. Like, I think the greater priority is preventing innocent human beings from being killed.
I don't care about innocence or not. I don't know why that's relevant. That seems dishonest. But what I asked was, are you okay with one individual using another person's body without their consent? And you said no, but that's what pregnancy is if you do not allow termination.
I agree that the bodily autonomy of the mother is being violated.
And you're okay with that?
That's well, so something can be bad, but there can be an even greater badness. That's the alternative. That's what I think is the case here.
Okay, so you're willing to grant special rights to fetuses in utero?
Well, no.
Yes. In fact, you are. No. There's no out of this. does a 2-year-old have the right to use its parents' body without their consent?
The
answer is no.
So
the answer is no. I don't know why it's so difficult for people to answer the question that's asked. A 2-year-old does not have the right to use its parents' body without their consent, and they should not.
Fair enough, but also things are being done to that baby's body without its consent.
Yes, I'm aware of that. But those are necessary things that we do as a steward of that baby. You don't get to spin this in another way. The fact of the matter is, you are either okay with giving a fetus special rights, allowing it to use someone's body without their consent, or you are not in favor of that. There's no other option. That's a direct logical negation. Either you are okay with a fetus using someone else's body without their consent, or you are not okay with that.
Well, I think that's a false dichotomy because...
No, sir. It is a direct... No, sir. We're done. We are done talking, James. Go look up true dichotomy. I literally added nothing but the word not in between those two sentences, which makes a direct logical negation. You need to go study before you can continue. Thank you. You don't get to pretend that either I am okay with this or I am not okay with this. Those are direct logical negations. They are exhaustive. That is all the possibilities there are. How dare you suggest that I committed a false dichotomy while you are the one fallaciously arguing for something? That will not fly on this show. Go study.